Hey guys, welcome to the 30th episode of the Learning Podcast. And if you aren't sure, it's a Singaporean podcast dedicated to learning something new from every single guest on this show. And today's setup is a little bit new. Right now, I apologize for any technical difficulties that I have. Because of this coronavirus, right, we are just trying something new. And today, the guest I have with me on this show is Haris. And Haris is actually a second timer on this podcast. And Haris, thanks so much for taking the time, man.
Sure, mate. Sure. What's with that Australian accent? But yeah, thank you for having me in this podcast.
A couple of reasons why I think this conversation will be helpful. One, this conversation will mostly be, I think, an informal one because it's the second time that we're following up. And if you haven't watched our first podcast, please do go watch it in this link in the description right now. I think another reason why I think this conversation will be helpful is that there's a lot of things that have changed since I last spoke to Haris in like long durations. I know that he has created a Udemy course, digital courses. He has created a YouTube channel, actively creating flutter tutorials and gaining awareness on that. So I think if there's anything meaningful in this conversation, it would be to learn about content creation and amassing audience. Then I know that Haris himself is a big listener of this YouTube channel called The Future. So maybe we can talk and geek about how big we are fans of this channel. So Haris, thanks so much for coming back, man. What has changed since we had last talked?
So I think the previous time that we have spoken, right, I was like talking about like, I'm gonna build like a software for like tuition center to automate creating questions for students according to their weaknesses, right? Then I had like internal battle because when I was creating the software, I wasn't really actually motivated. I wasn't finding that it was like my purpose, that kind of thing. So I was like drudging the days of just creating that software, even though I had my first client and he gave me some money to start that software, right? Then I realized that after thinking quite a lot, I realized that it wasn't for me. So even though I had my first like customer or like client, right? Then I would say, I'm sorry, but I think I'm not motivated, or I think this is not what I was meant to be. So I just returned the money. Then I was like thinking what I wanted to do. So actually, before creating my YouTube channel, I was thinking to actually pursue clean energy. So clean energy is
like that's totally different from what we talked about.
Totally different. Yeah,
right?
But yeah, exactly. So clean energy is something that I have grown into it since I was like maybe secondary school. Like I was very interested specifically with solar energy, So like I knew Tesla before it was famous. I knew Elon Musk before he blew up, that kind of thing. Because what he did was really something that I admired, So like in my house actually I have a solar panel that not right now, it's not lighting up right now, but I have a solar panel that I have in my room so that before I sleep, I'll turn on that light because the light is not as bright as what I have right now. So that was like my plan to create mini solar panels for like HDB flats. But then I realized that solar panel or solar energy is not something that I'm very, very interested in. I realized that education as a whole, right, was something that was my purpose. Sorry if I'm looking over there. Yeah, but then after that, like I just create. Then I had another epiphany. It's like, why not I just create videos? Because I think my first video that I created on YouTube was when I was in poly. My first video, I remembered what to do when I'm bored, because I was bored at home doing nothing, because it was my first break in poly year 1. So I was like, hey, Ryan Higa back then was pretty popular. So I was like, hey, why not I do something like Ryan Higa? And then like, okay, what to do when I'm bored? Then I created my first video. And then I guess like I didn't continue from then, but like, hey, it's something that I kind of like. So I think it planted a seed on me. Then I started my YouTube channel. Long before this year, I created like a series called Bang for the Buck. That was last year. It's like a Food King rip-off. But
What's Food King rip-off?
Meaning
not very sure,
food.
Actually.
So Food King, right, is where 3 people, the host, right, talks about the different food they are eating. So it's like a food review channel, food review series. Then I created something that's similar to what they were doing, right? Then after that I stopped. But now I have continued creating tutorials on coding. So that's like my long history of what I am currently doing right now. So I think this is my longest venture that I have done so far that is pretty consistent, which is creating programming tutorials. Did that answer your question? Sorry if I go on a tangent.
So when it comes to creating tutorials, right?
Yeah.
Like, how many months have you been doing it already? Because I've been following your Instagram, I've been following your LinkedIn, right? You've been posting a lot of tutorials. Then are you like consciously trying to rank? Like, what is your strategy when it comes to ranking for these terms, or is there even a macro strategy for building your YouTube channel? Because when I first created my YouTube videos, right? Because I just started, right? I created NUS vlogs. So the keywords that I wanted to own was, let's say, NUS business. So if you you type NUS business into YouTube, right, you'll see my videos first. What are you like trying to rank for any particular word? Or like, is there any kind of strategies that you use when it comes to building this YouTube channel?
Yeah, so this YouTube channel, currently the direction, right, it's more towards very specifically that you have mentioned earlier, which is Flutter. So for those who don't know what Flutter is a cross-platform framework that allows you to have one code base and can build in all platforms. That's the vision. So one code base can be built to build apps in iOS, Android, website, desktop, and even like embedded devices like Raspberry Pi and such. So Flutter was something that I have been working on before I started the current YouTube channel as a software developer in the startup PS Love. So I have mentioned that in the previous interview. Check it out on top.
Yes,
so click it out. Yeah. And so I actually am very passionate about Flutter because they are like the community, the people who learns Flutter always has this feeling of like, damn, that framework is so good. It is something that developers enjoy coding. And for me personally, I also enjoy the experience. So I want to share the experience to many developers who don't know what Flutter is and also wants to like teach what I've learned so far, whether it's I've learned something when I was a software developer or currently I'm doing my own like venture where I just teach anything that's related to Flutter. So the main direction is mainly Flutter for now, because I realized that by having like a specific direction or niche, I would say, it's easier for you to get the audience. That's what I found out. Because I guess like if you go follow me if you go follow my Instagram, it is not very related to Flutter. It's more like self-development, my opinions and thoughts, which I have created videos in my YouTube channel before, but the traction wasn't there because it's too general. So I decided from observing and also like hearing a lot of people who started YouTube channels is to find a specific niche. Then even if it's like an area that you think you want to focus on, for example, right, programming. Programming has a lot of different like programmers, like app developers or websites or machine learning. So these are like area under a niche under the huge umbrella of developers. Then under these subcategories, I would say like app development. What kind of like app development? Are you like a Swift iOS kind of person? Are you an Android person? Are you like the Flutter person? Or are you like, so there's a lot of other sub niches. So I filter even down to like Flutter or even niche it down to Flutter Web, which is basically me focusing on web development using Flutter. So then I grew my audience then. And then how I grew my audience, like I didn't know, but I chanced upon Reddit. So Reddit was something that I chanced upon and I saw people posting their videos there. So I was like, okay, why not I just post my videos there? So before posting my videos on Reddit, it was okay. It was performing okay, maybe at most 100, 200. So I have to be because I'm quite not active, but I'm listening to what the Flutter community is trying, wanted. So I knew Flutter Web was something popular. So I did some Flutter Web tutorials here and there, but it wasn't like a lot of views. For me, a lot of views is like 1,000. Maybe because I'm a small YouTube channel. So I posted on Reddit. Suddenly the views it's not exploded, but increased even more. And then I realized, the Redditors or the people who in Reddit are actually very more active, yes. So that means, that's a community. That means I can talk to them. So then when I posted more videos, right, I could see what works, what doesn't work. Then I saw that because in Flutter, there's like the different I would say, types of Flutter development. So you got like the UI kind of development, you have the backend kind of development. Then from my observation, people are more visual kind of people. So I came to know about that by going posting a lot of different types of videos. And then I knew that UI visual kind of tutorials are popular. So I do more of that. And you could see the views is always highest on those visual kind of tutorials. Then at the same time, you mentioned earlier that we both love the channel The Future, right? So I actually like observe how The Future does their things, right? So one thing that they do, they experiment on thumbnails. So if you were to see their videos, like maybe an hour they posted, right? The thumbnail will be, usually it's a person's face with text. Then after that, they try to change it to something more eye-catching, more, what do you call that? Clickbait, we call it. Then I was like, okay, why not I try it? So I changed my latest YouTube video from like a text picture to just picture, but zoomed in, and it looks damn nice. So I reposted it on Reddit. So the difference was so there's two versions. The previous version was with text, and the other version was very nice images. So the text was performing okay. I get like maybe, I think the highest views I got for the first version was like maybe 250. Second one, in just one day, I got 300. So I was like, what so I was like, dude, like by changing your thumbnails and just reposting it on Reddit, right? You can see the differences and also the upvotes. So the upvotes was like 1 digit. Then the second version, the upvotes was 2 digits. And I'm like, dude.
Can you paint us a picture? Can you paint us a more detailed picture, right? What makes a good thumbnail? Like what was, like you briefly said that the first thumbnail you put was some picture, some text, right? The second picture you put was like a more is it a more of the UI visual? So
yes,
like
yes.
What makes a good thumbnail?
Okay, yeah. So I think text can help, but it's hard to paint a picture. Okay, for the first version that I did, right? Maybe I would say the real estate for the text would take 70% of the real estate, and then 30% is the image. So like the screenshot of the end product, right, is very small. So if people see the thumbnail, right, and your app screen is very small, they don't like, they tend not to click on it. Then I zoomed in into the visuals because that's what people like, right? So I zoomed in, like I have the app screen, but I cut off half of it. So half of the app screen is one side of the thumbnail, the other half is on the other side of the thumbnail. So it really zoomed in into the detail of the UI that I screenshot. And at the same time, also one thing that I forgot to tell you is that I also changed the the title. So the first title was SVG to Flutter, meaning I can convert your SVG files into Flutter code or just normal code. The second one was how to create complicated curves in Flutter. So I realized that if you have a more layman term of title, right, it actually makes people want to click rather than what is SVG to Flutter? Not interesting. I can create a complicated curve in Flutter. Then the way of doing it is SVG to Flutter lah. So I realized by just making the images more eye-catching, where like for example, 70% of the text is like how to create a circle in the thumbnail, right? And then you put a circle there, and then you say circle to Flutter. But the second version is like a big circle, colorful gradient circle, so nice to click on it, right? And then it says how to make this amazing gradient circle in Flutter. So which one gets more views, or which one has a high chance of clicking on it? Probably the second version. Yeah, because we humans are visual creatures. So that's why I feel that we have to always what do you call it?
You have to play to the game of the human mind in its sense.
Yes.
Like for social media videos, right, you need to be very quick, fast edits and everything, because it's just a UI that users are interacting in, right? And like for YouTube, it's really a thumbnail game. Like if your thumbnail game is not strong, if your title is not strong, why would people invest their time to click on your video in the first place, right?
Yes.
Are
Yes.
there any other things that, let's say, beginners should look out for? Like for me, I'm also trying to up my thumbnail game. Like for example, this podcast, right, is a very fixed
Yeah.
thumbnail
Right.
that I use lah. But
Yes.
for beginners out there, right, is there any other things to look out for in terms of making a good thumbnail?
I'm not very, very sure on like good thumbnails because I'm still experimenting. But I know that.
How often is how fast do you test it? Like, is it within 2 hours, 3 hours, or is it like when the moment? Do you do any strong A/B tests? Like you post in one Reddit group, another Reddit group. Like how thorough is your testing, or is more like a feel? Not too thorough, is it? What I'm guessing.
It's not too thorough. It's just that I did this A/B testing only like yesterday.
Oh,
because
yesterday, so it's quite fresh lah.
It's very fresh. I'm going to do it every time I create a video or post a video out there. And it's good because once you test it, you have a better idea which works, which doesn't. And at the same time, like rather than just keep on posting, even though you can still observe the number of views and such, right? You also have to, because I feel like certain videos can actually have more views or attractiveness by just changing the title, changing the picture. So it's really up to, it depends on like the, what do you call it, the category or niche that you're aiming for. So like for podcasts, right, from my observation, podcasts don't generally have like very good thumbnails, but they have very good titles. Their titles are like, for example, Joe Rogan, right? His second channel, that's where the meat of his views are. I don't know who discussed it, but like because Joe Rogan, for those who don't know, he's just a normal guy interviewing very smart people or celebrities or smart people.
He's the biggest podcast in the world.
Yeah. So he has two channels. So his main channel is very long form kind of video podcast. So 1 hour, 2 hours. But his second channel has bite-sized kind of video. So one thing to take note also is that humans nowadays, we cannot sustain 1 hour of I guess what do you call it, attention. So we have to have bite-sized kind of video content to just consume, right? So that's why I try to aim for my videos less than 20 minutes. Even though if it's a tutorial, right, I can chop it out into part 1, part 2, part 3. So I'm trying to do that in the future also. So at the same time, like for his one, his titles are actually more eye-catching than his thumbnail, because his thumbnails is just him and then just some random picture, but his titles are the one that I like. It's very clickbait. So like for podcasts, this is just my observation, maybe I'm wrong, but for podcasts generally they don't have any eye-catching kind of thumbnails, but for their short forms, right, their titles are very, very catchy.
I think it's the kind of like that you're appealing to different kind of audiences lah.
Yes,
you want to appeal
correct.
to audiences that can really pay attention to all these long forms of content. Just diversifying in a sense that kind of attention that you can siphon from that single piece of content. Another question, right? In terms of, because I know your audience is very niche, Flutter potential developers in the Flutter space, right? Like in terms of analytics, right? Do you see where do they come from? I'm just guessing that like the Singapore community, I really don't know, like the Flutter community in Singapore is not as huge as you would say like United States, Canada. So I'm just guessing, I'm just making a guess that significant number of your audiences actually don't come from Singapore. Is that true?
Yes, it's true. Most of my audience for my YouTube channel today I just saw the percentages. So it's outside Singapore, obviously, because Singapore is very, very small. But I think the most, the top two is US, which is correct, and India. India, yeah. So because India has also a lot of developers, so they will try to find tutorials or videos to help them in their development. So India and US are the most highly watched countries in my YouTube channel. And the traffic that I got is not from organic YouTube search. It's very hard. It's actually from Reddit.
So everything is from... What's the percentage of traffic-wise? Like 80% of your traffic is from Reddit?
So, it's for Reddit, it's 37%. So 1/3 of it comes from there. Then another 10% would be coming from this platform that's called dev.to. So it's like Medium. You know Medium?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a blog, but it's very specific for developers. and they are gaining very good traction, meaning that a lot of developers are using that platform to post their tech articles rather than using Medium. Previously, a lot of tech people use Medium for their articles, but now dev.to, if you are a developer, you go to dev.to, that's where a lot of people have posted their articles, and a lot of users are or there's a lot of traffic there. So I didn't know. I thought Reddit will be the highest, and then second highest might be YouTube organic search. But YouTube organic search, I think, is my third or fourth. So yeah, you can't rely on your YouTube to do the work for you. You have to find somewhere that's like hot, and then you have to just put in that clickbait, and then people will just click on it. And dev.to is something that I should also focus on, but I have to write an article, which is also, I'm not a fan of writing article because I just want to shoot a video, edit, and done. Because having to write an article on top of the video is a lot of effort, but we'll see how it goes. But
when it comes to like you shooting tutorials, right, like one thing on my end, one thing I'm trying out is also to like shoot tutorials, like to teach people how to shoot specific stuff or do specific stuff. Let's say when it comes to let's say creating a video podcast or anything, right? Like, do you script your videos out accordingly to make it as concise as possible, or you usually like go off the cuff when it comes to creating content for tutorials?
What do you mean by off the cuff?
Like let's say right now I haven't scripted anything. Hey guys, in this video I'll be teaching you how to shoot a video podcast from start to finish. Do you write out a rough structure before you shoot the video tutorial? Because for one thing for me, right, I think I've always been trying to create tutorials, but one trouble that I face is that whenever I go off the cuff, right, I'm like all over the place. But then when I create a script, right, then it feels like it's very forced on me. So it's something that I'm still trying to get used to. So how do you create your tutorials?
Okay.
And on that note, right, because I know you also created a course on Udemy. So I think that's the next thing I actually want to talk about. But in terms of structuring the outline of how you create a course or tutorial video, right? How do you do it? Off the cuff, or is it like scripted in a way?
So I would say I'm still in the experimental mode. I understand in your end, like, should I just wing it or should I just follow a script? So I guess I've done both. One thing that I realized, I think, is in the middle. So I'm still experimenting. I don't really have the answers, but I think having point forms will help. So for example, like, okay, you're going to this point. For example, start for coding tutorial, right? Open up program. So the next point is like teach them how to write this syntax code or something like that. So rather than having like a full script that to follow, right, I find having pointers is better for me. I'm not sure. I haven't done it for a very, very long time. And even for the Udemy course that I've created, for the Udemy course itself, I've tried writing a script. But I don't exactly follow, because one thing I've noticed is that once I because how I do a tutorial video is that I will go through the whole process itself, and then I write down maybe like in steps 1, 2, 3, 4 what are the specific things that I do. Then with that 2 iterations of recording down, right, I actually have that fresh in my mind, and then after that it flows naturally, I guess, because it's easier for me to just do the tutorials and such. So I'm still experimenting lah. There's no like specific script or wing it. It's like a balance of both, I would say. So I'm still experimenting.
I'll definitely try the point form thing. When it comes like let's talk about digital course content creation, right? In the realms of Singapore, right? I personally don't really know I think there is, but not many Singaporeans out there that create digital course of skill sets that they can impart. What motivated you to create your own course?
Right. So what motivated me to do my own course? Because like my end goal for this venture, right? So earlier in the previous podcast, right, I started a company called Zungkuf, right? So Zungkuf is Future for German. Basically, I wanted to create like a boot camp to teach people to transit from zero programming experience to a hireable kind of quality kind of engineers or software developers. So I always am trying to figure out what is the best way to teach someone or anyone, right, to be a software developer. Because I myself, so another backstory is like I went through a boot camp, and then I realized that any education that we are faced right now, it's like we are supposed to be in the, how do I say, we are supposed to follow how fast the lecturer or the teacher expect us to be, which I think is a one size fit all kind of model, which doesn't work at all. Like some people are very fast, some people are very slow, some people are average, some people are like slightly behind. And I myself, or you teach piano, right? So you could see how fast or how slow a student is, right? So I feel that I want to try doing it online. So that's why I started this online course kind of thing. Then because when you do something online, you can just pause, you can just Google search, and then you can resume. And then you can just take your time and search. So that's why I try to attack at the online front. And then at the same time, I was thinking like this is just what I think about me trying to create a business. I try to create a scalable business to create a unscalable business kind of thing. Like, if that makes sense, because I feel that.
Can you elaborate, like scalable?
Yeah.
Business
So scalable meaning that online businesses can scale, very fast, very easy. Not say it's easier than opening up a shop, kind of like logistics and capital upfront kind of business, where online businesses, you don't really need a lot of capital, or you don't need any capital to start an online business. So because for me, I want to save as much money as possible, because I don't have a lot of money, and I want to try to make money online. So I see online as my first step, and then maybe in the future I will do offline. So my plan is to create more Udemy courses or create online courses to get my revenue up. So I have a steady stream of revenue to maybe fund my I foresee a school that I want to build for people who want to learn being a software developer. But then I just recently I changed my mind, because the future, right? He has a recent podcast interview. So one of his interviewee asked him, "Hey, are you guys still an agency?" Then Chris Do, who is the founder of the future, he said that no, we are not. We are not taking any more clients. And then that is when I realized that, dude, the future is now just getting their revenue just from their YouTube channel and their content or their online courses that they are selling. So I was like, shit, they don't depend on any more clients. So I was thinking maybe I should just do online all the way, because online means I don't have to be stuck with Singapore, because currently I'm a Singaporean. So like if I want to like train people, I only can train Singaporeans. And from my observation, a lot of people are not really interested being a software developer, even though the government is putting a lot of emphasis on like, learn tech skills, blah, 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 whatever. But in terms of scalability, if you want to like have another boot camp overseas that you need capital, you probably need to ask for more money to, open up another school at another country. So how am I going to get this money? I can, but it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of manpower, all of that. So why not build an online school instead? So then my initial plan changed already. I thought I wanted to build a boot camp or school in Singapore, but in the end I was like, okay, why not I just build an online school? Since the future is already gaining enough revenue for them to still run their business as a online school, because they sell content and such. So why not I just follow them? Since they can do it, why can't I? I have that mentality. Since they can do it, why can't I? So so I've changed my trajectory again. But now I'm building like online content for my YouTube channel, and then I'm also building more courses on Udemy. So this like every time I learn something new, it always changes my plan. But my goal is still to build a school, but it doesn't have to be a physical school. Yeah. So yeah, that's I got the motivation from Chris. Like, wow, he is really someone that I really admire, because he just give a lot of very good advice on how to like build online courses, which I'm trying to do. So has been beneficial on what I'm trying to do now. Yeah.
I mean, I've listened. I've watched this because I think I watched this channel when it was like 100K subscribers. And right
Oh
now, I
my
think
god,
it's
you're the
almost-
OG, bro. You're the OG.
but the thing is because I don't I'm not a fully creative guy, but I identify myself as a pseudo creative. So I've used a lot of his methods in terms of, let's say, pitching, getting new clients, or being serving your clients better. Like one thing he always talks about is aligning yourself with the client, right? Make sure we are on the same page. And I learned a lot, let's say, getting my first freelance projects. I've learned a lot in that aspect. But when it comes to creating digital courses, it's actually one of my next steps as well. Because
Oh,
I think
nice.
the realms of honestly, the realms of digital, it's very, how to say, I think you must also find I wouldn't dare to say right reasons. And actually the follow-up
Right.
question I want to ask you, right? Because I've did a little bit of homework into this digital realm course as well. There are plentiful of startups in this online digital mediums. Teachable just exited for I think about 250 mil. And so there's platforms like Teachable, Thinkific, Udemy, Coursera.
Yep.
Why Udemy? For my understanding, right, I know Udemy is probably not the best form of platform to really monetize, and probably better platforms out there to really extract more of the profits. Because I know
Correct.
there's a lot of like affiliate links, all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah,
in general, my understanding of what I've researched so far, like Teachable, Thinkific, I think Thinkific you can even create a course for free and sell it for free, and they'll only take
What's it called again?
commission.
Thinkific,
Thinkific. I'll send you a link after that.
Right,
But
right.
Yeah, I've also been dabbling around this kind of thing.
Right.
Sorry for the long rant, right? But the question
okay,
is
it's
why
okay.
Udemy? I think you're like
Right.
still
Very good question.
starting out on your journey of like creating online courses, and
Yeah.
one, I don't see many Singaporeans doing it in the first place because
Yeah.
like our skills are in a sense very commoditized.
Yes, it is.
But for Flutter, I know it's like a little bit more niche, and there's a little bit more
Yes.
space that you can expand in. Like, because I really can envision if, let's say, you are the future of Flutter or even software development, that will be
Right.
very huge, and that
Yeah.
will have a self-sustaining machine on its own. But back to the original question, right?
Yeah.
Why Udemy for now?
Why Udemy? Yeah. So that's a very, very good question. So Udemy, right? It all boils from my experience, because when I started learning to be a developer, I went to Udemy, and that was the go-to place. Then I realized that a lot of people who wants to learn about development goes to Udemy. So, and then the thing about Udemy is like it's YouTube. It's YouTube for courses. People go to Udemy to search for courses. So they have that user base. I think Chris also mentioned it in one of his videos. It's like, why not start on Udemy? Because they already have that user base of people just actively looking for courses to buy and learn and such, right? So I take advantage of Udemy, not because I want to earn money. It's because I want to gain users and then gain the credibility of me being a good teacher or whatnot. So I don't. And for Teachable or for other kind of, like, for example, Skillshare kind of thing, right? These platforms are very good if you already have the amount of like subscribers or amount of following. Then from the difference is that in Udemy, the amount of money that you earn is very little. So in Udemy, if I'm not wrong, if the person buys your course from your own affiliate link, right? For example, I give you my affiliate link, I'll get like 90% of the cost price. If the person goes to like a marketing kind of campaign that Udemy usually have, right, like $16.99 in 3 days time, so that I will only get 20%. But that also drives traffic to or drives the motivation for people to buy my course and see how credible I am. So from then, for me it's just that I want people to know more about me, to see if I'm credible or not. And then later on, they were like, in the course, maybe I'll say, hey, if you want more, you can follow me on my YouTube channel kind of thing. So like my initial stage is not about generating revenue yet. It's generating my audience, my following. Because I think it's a very common saying, if you have a great product but nobody knows about it, is it a great product? So the product is me. So I'm the product that people are buying, not the course, not my YouTube channel, not my videos, it's me. Because I realized that having an audience, right? Like, I can give you another example, PewDiePie. Here's a very generic kind of example. Initially, when people know about PewDiePie, right? Listen, PewDiePie is like a gaming channel. For PewDiePie, right? He started out as a gaming channel. And then after that, he went to try to do different stuff. Like, for example, he tried to do meme review, the popular one, right? And then he tried to do book essays. Actually, he tried to do book essays and movies essays. So I realized that if you also follow Gary Vee, people are buying into you. People are not buying into you because of the genre or the products. They are buying into you. So no matter what you are doing, right, people will still follow because they are not there because you have like, oh, you're a gaming channel. No, people are buying into you. So PewDiePie, I think, is a great example because he's one of the biggest channels. So everybody hopefully can relate. At the same time, like if you, yeah, I know, high five. Peace. Yeah, man. But at the same time, he actually ventures on different kinds of things, and people still follow. And he's still one of, he's the second highest subscriber. Sadly, T-Series beat him. Oh my god! But anyway, yeah. So the thing is, people will still follow you no matter what, where you go, or what you're trying to achieve in life. So I realized that, and then I found out that money can wait. Like, I'm Singaporean. I think my parents are okay with me staying here maybe until 30 or something. But like, I'm privileged enough. I'm very fortunate enough to be staying at home with very good internet connection and very good government who gives a lot of money to actually venture out safely online. Because I think it really, I am in the situation, and at the same time I'm a programmer. So if I were to, like, you know, if I really need to find a job, I can find a job. It's not something I worry about. But yeah, so with all of these, like different factors, right? Like I'm able to, you know, venture with this online thing. So that's sorry, I went to a tangent. But yeah, so Udemy is because I want to
the context.
Yeah. It's Udemy is never, it's for me, even though I see the numbers and the money that I earn, right, I don't really focus on the money that's generating for me. It's more towards me getting audience, you know. So if I were to sell my service or whatever, like, at least I have an audience that I can rely on.
I know that building an audience, right, it's very, I think to some people that they say, building audience is really like a long task, right? Like a difficult thing. Yeah, no choice, right? But like from your perspective and like from my perspective as well, in terms of building audiences, right? To a beginner 101, right? That wants to build an audience, what can he or she do when it comes to creating an audience?
Be consistent. I think one of the things that people will always follow is someone who's consistent. Because consistent means the person will do the same thing every day, he's predictable, then okay lah, you follow. I would say, even though you hear people subscribers doesn't matter all that, right? I feel that to earn someone to click on that subscribe button, it has to deal with a lot of like, okay, I think I like him, so I subscribe to him. You know, that kind of thing. Because I feel that if you want to be a subscriber, you must really like what he or she is doing overall, not just because of one video. Maybe that one video makes you want to click, but like gaining someone to subscribe your channel, I feel, right, it's someone that trusts you in that journey that you're going through, YouTube channel or whatever, like your followers in your Instagram, that kind of thing. So like, I don't care about my subscriber count or my followers on Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever, right? It's more towards how people like perceive me. Because if you want to get more people to follow you, you have to be your genuine self. Like, that's the first thing that you need to do lah. Like, if you fake it, then it's like you need to put in effort to fake it, that kind of thing. So just be yourself. And then at the same time, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent on putting your content out there. Because I feel, right, like, it's like, maybe you can really like, it's a bit unfair it's like, life is unfair. Like, if you go to YouTube, right, someone might have 3 videos that have very high views and has more subscribers than me. I have more videos than the person. I have less subscriber than the person who has 3 videos. Then I'm like, why life not fair? But doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you're comparing to someone. So I deal with that. But then, like, at the same time, how you know the followers are your followers is the comments. The comments on my videos are very heartwarming. They are very supportive. Like, there was one comment, wow, it really
what's the
makes
best
my
comment
heart
you have
melt.
ever received?
Okay, my first comment was a hateful comment, but let's ignore that. But it doesn't matter. But that the comment that was very heartwarming was exactly what I pointed out. Like this guy, he said, you are so hardworking. Why don't you have more subscribers? And I'm like, dude, I know, right? But like in the end, like it's not about the subscribers, like it's about you trying to master something. Because for me, I want to master in teaching, because I want to find a way for people to, like this is just like I guess my purpose, like to teach like programming, or to hopefully change the education system where nobody's left out, lor. So everyone can pursue whatever they want to do, and we can have a better world, that kind of thing. I think that's my purpose. But yeah, so for me, I never really look into the subscribers, even though the subscribers are like very nice. Like, oh my God, I'm gaining 7 subscribers today. Next day, oh, I'm gaining 10 subscribers. It is a good feeling, but it's not. It's a short-term kind of feeling. The long-term feeling that you should have is something that you always be consistent with, and people will realize that you're consistent. Like, hey, this guy always posts every day. Because if you, I don't know, the algorithm works that way in YouTube, but maybe if you watch one video from this guy, the next day you will see in your recommended, or maybe on Reddit, for example, the person always posts on Reddit. Oh my God, this guy always posts videos on Reddit, and then okay lah, some of his videos quite shitty, but wow, this guy is consistent. Like you gain credibility, because nobody likes a flaker, like oh, let's meet, then last minute I don't want, I cannot. Then like, alamak, every time he always last minute cannot make it. So which one would you trust? Someone who's consistently always going for your meetups, or someone who always flaking off? So that's so always be consistent and be yourself lah. If you really want a following, no matter what platform that you're in. Yeah.
In your short stint of, let's say, building an audience, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What mistakes have you made? What mistakes do you think you have made that you think others can learn on? Or at least, let's say for me, I can learn on as well. Let's say when it comes to building an audience.
I wouldn't say mistakes, but lessons I've learned when I'm building an audience is like, okay, so I also recently like watched like Chris Dove video. He said that
been watching.
Yeah, binge watch. No, it's like, guys, come on, just subscribe to his channel in the future. It's really very valuable. Even though you're not a designer, right? He has very good advice and life experience to share. So he says that if you're just starting out, right, build an audience, don't sell. It's the same thing as your friend suddenly texts you, hey bro, long time no meet. Then in the end you find out he's a financial insurer. And like,
I think it's very common. It's very common, right?
Yeah. So it's the same thing. Like suddenly somebody come up to you, and you saw this video, for example, very nice. Then suddenly at the end it's like, oh, buy my course, that kind of thing. So that relationship that you build at first is very salesy. So first impression kind of counts, not really, I feel, but the consistent kind of impressions that viewers see, right, will have a very deep imprint in their brain. So if you're always very salesy at the upfront, like for example, 25% off, that kind of thing, come up with my newsletter and then I'll give you a free gift, whatever, people might think like, oh, you're trying to like maybe sell me something, that kind of thing. So it's very like, it doesn't have a nice ring to what you're trying to push. But if you just don't sell, if you just share, if you just want people to have want to learn, like for example, most of the time people just want to share what they like, for example, like coding tutorials or video tutorials or like Final Cut Pro tutorials. They don't like, these people who don't say buy my course at the end, right, are those people who will gain those kind of people. So like the same people, what's that quote, the flock feather kind of like same bird flock together. Yeah, birds together, flock together. I don't know. Yeah. So if you are very salesy, you will attract salesy people, but if you're not, then you attract the like genuine kind of people. So don't be salesy upfront, then you will just hinder your reputation as someone who wants to build content. For example, like if you were to go my YouTube channel, right, and then suddenly my the trailer that says buy my course, then it's like, that guy, wow, I thought his videos are cool, but suddenly want to buy his course. You might have a chance that people will not like that, rather than someone that, hey, hi, thank you for coming for my YouTube channel. I'm grateful, whatever. Like, be nice to your customers, like don't push it. Like, people can sense it. So there was one lesson or mistake that I did recently in my newsletter, where I tried to push my Udemy course to say like, hey, I have 25% off my Udemy course, but nobody complained. But it feels wrong for me, because I feel like the people who are inside my newsletter, like, I want to give more value than just asking them to buy my course, that kind of thing. So that's a lesson learned. Like, I try not to, like, you can still sell, but like, don't be so silly. Like, every time you have a video, it's like, before the video start, hey, buy my course, 50% off. Then like, people unsubscribe, that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, that was one lesson that I learned. But I'm still a newbie in this, so yeah.
In terms of building a newsletter, right? Like, how long have you built your newsletter for? And like, for 101 like me, like for myself, right, I'm starting a newsletter as well. Like,
oh, nice.
I'm starting a email leads. Not to say leads, okay. I hate to use that word right now. We are talking about
I get it.
conversions
I get it.
and everything, but I think it's about in part of building an audience, right? For beginner who is interested in building the email list out there, right? Like, you have started a newsletter. How long have you started this for? And like, for 101 beginners like me, right? How do you go about doing it?
I think, right, I have to give the props to my YouTube channel, because I feel that out of the social media platform that I've experimented, LinkedIn, I don't really experiment on Facebook, LinkedIn and Instagram and even TikTok, and my YouTube channel, I feel like my YouTube channel has the most genuine kind of like response, because first of all, like, I get the niche audience that I want, which is Flutter or even Flutter Web. I just put a link inside my, in my description. So people actually go to my description and read, and then they see, hey, so how I got my email leads or people who sign up for my newsletter is that I was building my Udemy course, and it was a Udemy course that a lot of people actually wanted to, was asking. So the whole setup was like, sign up for this Flutter Web with Firebase Udemy course in this link, and then it is just like a Google form kind of link. So they will go to my Google form, they will just put in their name and their email, and that's it. And then I have like an automation process where it will grab the name and email using like a service, I think it's called automate.io, and they will put inside my MailChimp account. So that's the whole flow of it. But I don't tell them that, hey, like, go to my newsletter and sign up. I should do that actually, but I will do that soon. But that's how I honestly got my leads. It's just putting inside my description, and also at the same time, like, I will put it very obvious in my videos that are performing well on a daily basis, meaning that my videos that has consistently high, like consistent views, like on a regular basis. So I put a link like maybe at the second line below my description sentence. So when they click on the video and then they see the whole video and then they see the description, they will see that link, or like, hey, sign up for this Flutter Web Udemy course in this link here, that kind of thing. Yeah, so once, like, usually people, when they watch videos, they will scroll down. Do you do that? Right? So
yeah,
people will, right? So people will do that. So once you scroll down, you suddenly see like, sign up for this Flutter Web Udemy course in this link. Then it attracts the attention. Then at the same time, people just like to click on the description for no reason. Yeah, they just click on the description. And it's like, yeah. For me, I do that because like I want to know more about the person. If I discover someone's video, like, hey, this video is quite good, so I want to know the person more. So the next step, this is just my hypothesis, is that they will go to your description and read. Yeah, if they don't have, like, some of my YouTube videos don't have comments, so they will read my description. Then suddenly, okay, click on the thing. But I don't know if it's from which videos are. But I know that it is from my description video. So every videos in my YouTube channel that is for Flutter, right, has the link for to sign up for my newsletter.
When it let's say, like, because email marketing, right? They have a lot of like hypothesis on how you can work around it. Like every week, every 3 days, you send them some valuable information. You keep sending them valuable information. In that sense, right, it's able to build like goodwill in you as a person. Then when it comes to that, you would say in Gary Vaynerchuk's term, right hook, right? When for you to sell a particular product or service that you want your audience to buy, right? That's where like the right hook comes, right? Do you have this kind of strategy in your email list as well? Or I know you just started, but is it a direction that you're going into as well?
I feel like my newsletter, like, so another thing, like Chris, like I had the epiphany also very recent, that
okay,
from
can
the
I pause here? I think this episode right should be called Chris Do something.
Chris Do something like thank you, Chris Do.
Changed our life. How Chris Do changed our lives.
I know, right? They don't. Hopefully they know Chris Do lah. No, but like I chanced upon his video that was so helpful to me because I was thinking of like what to put in my newsletter, because I feel like building the relationship inside my newsletter, but how? I don't know what to put on it. So in the end, from watching the video, he says that just get a newsletter, don't sell, which is great. Then the person says, so what do I put inside my newsletter? Then Chriso reply, just write about your experience. Just write about anything that have to do with you. And I said, oh yeah. So one thing, the newsletter that I'm going to push next week, I'm doing a weekly newsletter, is embarrassing moments as a Flutter developer. So it makes my newsletter more human. So people will read it as me. So it's like a forced blog entry, So people, like, my open rate is quite good, 50%. But yeah.
50% open rates?
Yeah, 50. Yes. I can advertise.
Do you mind if I ask how big? Okay, no.
It's not very big. It's not very big.
Okay. Okay, maybe for benchmarking, right? Because maybe let's say we can have this conversation like 4 months or 5 months down the road, right?
Yeah.
Right now at your YouTube subscriber base, how big is your audience right now?
So now it's 470.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Under 4 months.
You think there's a benchmark?
Yeah. So okay, I can say that I have currently 50 newsletter subscribers. Yeah. So like the conversion rate, if you say 40, 50, am I wrong? 8%? I don't know if that's correct or not. Okay, whatever the case is, it's a small number lah. But I really don't care about the conversion rate lah. But it's like I want to build like a more, what do you call that? A stronger relationship, because if you sign up for my newsletter and you don't unsubscribe, right, I feel like it's like a privilege for me to share something even deeper about me, So this newsletter comes once a week. And I'm like, how can I like build a relationship through the newsletter? So Christo like spark an idea within me. It's like, hey, yeah, why not I share my experience as a Flutter developer? Because people who are learning Flutter are most of the time not Flutter developers. So why not I share the experience? They might learn something. Because previously where my newsletter was just updating about my Udemy course or like something that I learned about Flutter web or Flutter, right? And then something I think was valuable to me, so I put inside my newsletter lah. But then like it feels very like teaching, like that's what my YouTube channel is for. Like how is my newsletter different? So I share my experience as a Flutter developer inside my newsletter lor. So like my plan is probably either Monday or Tuesday is that I'm going to create a video called Embarrassing Moments as a Flutter Developer. And then at the end I will say, hey, I got more of this. Why not sign up inside my newsletter? That kind of thing. Yeah, so then I will generate the leads or whatever, that kind of thing lah. Yeah. So there's a lot of ways. This is just my way of doing it because I feel like it's more natural for someone to sign up my newsletter from that flow or funnel or whatever lah. Yeah, so.
No, that's good. I'll need to learn from this as well. Okay, moving on, right? Let's say, of all the videos, right, you have watched from the future.
Yes.
Like, okay, I know it's geeking out, this YouTube channel called The Future.
It's
for
okay.
listeners out there, right,
I
think The Future is really a platform if you want to just improve yourself. I would say even like emotionally, because I know I'm not sure if you have watched episode with him with a therapist, right? I feel like I'm getting therapy myself in a sense, although I don't have therapy. But it's like emotionally, mentally, psychologically, business wise, creative wise. I feel like it's if I would even dare say, right, the type of content that resonates with me is even stronger than Gary Vee, because Gary Vee
Yes,
is
it
more
is.
of the
It
kind
is.
of
It is.
motivational, inspirational vibes.
Yep.
But the content from this channel is really in depth. And
Yes,
like,
it is. It is.
my hypothesis, right, is that there's a lot of people who know their shit who aren't really involved in the kind of personal branding that Gary Vee does. So I feel that
Yes.
people like Christo is able to have guests on his shows, right, that has really done like fantastic stuff for you to learn from. And
Correct,
like
correct.
just listening to them, right,
Yeah.
it's a
Holy
privilege to
shit.
learn so much, right? So
I
long
know.
run, of all the videos that you have watched from Christo or the future at
Right.
least, right, what is
Yeah.
one the top few videos that you would recommend, and I'll link in the video description, right, for people to just check out, that has been most helpful to you in what
Yeah.
sense for you?
Yeah. So one video which is also very recent is called "How Do You Make Money on Something You Love?" Or it's very
One is
recent.
a drummer, right?
Yeah, the one drummer. So make a
Yeah.
living
I watched
doing
that
what you love. Watch that video, because right, what that video really makes, like, if you are so passionate, how basically in common sense, how to create an online business on how to make your business online, how to make a passionate business online. I think that's like the base of it, because right, like, once you're usually passionate people like to teach. Do you agree on that statement? Like, passionate people, they like to teach, right?
Passionate people like
I
to
don't know. Share or teach or whatever, right? So like, once you're passionate, most of the time, right, and you can get a job of about it, right, you want to teach. So for me, like, as a Flutter developer, I'm passionate about Flutter, and I'm passionate about, like, like teaching programmers programming or coding to like zero experience. So so to make an online business, how do you do that? So like, that video gave me so many advice on how to create your newsletter, what kind of content to put in your newsletter, what to do, like the different tactics. But overall, right, like, I feel like tactics aside, right, the main idea is to build your audience and build a relationship without selling. So that's the main idea from that video itself. So that was very, very good. Another video, I would say there's a lot of videos that, like, bits and pieces that really help me, but this is the recent video that I really have what do you call that, really impacted me in terms of like how to do stuff in the future. But aside of Chris though, let me but aside Chris though, right, I will also recommend this guy's channel because you guys like, oh my god, these guys are Chris though. So I want to promote this channel called Alex Becker. Have you heard of him?
Yes, actually. Yeah, I watch a lot of his videos.
Right. Okay. Good. Yes. So we can talk about it.
I realized. I think if you are in that vibes, if you watch Gary Vaynerchuk, if you watch Chris from the future,
then you got Alex
chance
Becker.
upon content from people like Alex Becker. So
yes,
for listeners out there, right, Alex Becker is actually the CEO of this tracking company, analytics tracking company called
Hiver or Hydro or High something lah. I forgot.
So I empathize a lot. I empathize a lot with him because I'm a media analyst. I run ads, and one problem it's legit a real world problem that, like, with some of my clients, we're spending a lot of money, right? And one problem that we have is really attributing what the causal relationship between which ads and what business result it makes. So his company really provides a real world solution to that. But aside from that, I think his channel, I think he started out more of teaching people how to make money online, all that kind of stuff. But I only chanced upon his videos, I think about 2 or 3 months ago, and I feel like it's very useful. Like, the recent video that I watched from him was the interview that he had with the CEO of ConvertKit, which is which is I
haven't really watched it. I watched it like 10 minutes. I saw it's 1 hour, and I'm like, okay. Time for that.
Because I usually listen to it when I'm on my jogs. So I listen to it when I was jogging. Then, I mean, ConvertKit is an email CRM system,
yes,
like
yes,
MailChimp.
email thing.
And actually, it's because of that podcast, right, I signed up a ConvertKit account. And right now, that's where I'm starting my email chain.
Right. Okay. Later we share. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking whether I should.
But
Anyway,
when it comes, let's say for you, right? Could you just share what are the top few videos that you feel that you have learned a lot from him in terms of the kind of content that he puts out?
Well, okay. So backstory, right? We are supposed to do this interview last week. The thing is, right, so the thing is, right, I only discovered Alex Becker very recently, like last week. So it's good that this interview was delayed 1 week, so I can share. Yeah. So I think it's like whatever, probability or whatever, like godsend or whatever. So Alex Becker, right, one video that really changed how I work, right, is the dopamine detox. Dopamine detox. So for people who don't know what's dopamine, right, dopamine is a hormone that triggers like happy kind of feeling lah. So dopamine can be triggered by drinking or smoking or even like watching cat videos, that kind of thing. So in this world, right?
Us talking right now, we are giving dopamine to each other.
Dopamine to you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's not good. This is not part of the dopamine detox.
I don't know. But okay, no, dopamine, that's good and that's bad. But most of the time, right, the dopamine that we want or we usually are so fixated or addicted, I would say, is our phones. So Gary Vee said our phones is the best thing that can happen in this world. I can argue that it is the best and worst thing that can happen in this world because I think there's a study that shows that people who are more addicted to or spend more time on social media is actually more depressed than people who don't spend a lot of time on it. So then the thing is, what that detox or dopamine detox also he shared was that to really be successful on whatever you're doing is to spend more time on it. So to have more output, and most of the time we are so distracted with our phones, with our tabs of amounts of like YouTube or whatever, right? So in order for us to be more focused on what can give the most output is to just destroy all the different distractions that we have. Our phone, not destroy lah, but like get rid of it when you're working. So I did that. So I tried to block YouTube, the link. So when I type YouTube, it's blocked. Then my phone, I will just put under my table. Then I just focus on, like for example, creating content. So when I did that dopamine detox and when I was creating a video, right, I was like, shit, I have a lot of time. Like what am I supposed to do with this time? Shit, I have, oh my god. Then I was like, okay, if I have a lot of time, okay, I create content now. Okay, so I did my dopamine detox on the first day. Then I realized I did 2 videos. So one video was for my YouTube channel. The other one was for a huge, long form kind of tutorial. And I was like, fuck, I did so much in one day. Like for that output, right, I would need 2 days. But I did in one day. But it was very tiring. But I believe that if you do this consistently, you get used to it because your body is very adaptable. So then I realized that shit, now I'm thinking to do that often. So I did that on Tuesday and then Wednesday. So like there was a lot of free time that I didn't know what I want to do with, because a lot of our free time is spending on like social media or like games or like YouTube. So in the end, like that dopamine detox really helped me like fixed my brain in a sense that because I was so addicted to YouTube or I used to watch a lot of like those like Dota gameplay, so I watch a lot of that. Then by just like removing that link, right, I was like, shit, now what videos do I watch? So I try to watch educational videos that helps me learn something new. Yeah. So with that dopamine detox, right, like I really recommend for anyone who wants to have a higher output, right, or like you want to really focus on your work, just at the same time, I switch off all my communication. So no WhatsApp, Telegram, or whatever. I just remove it. So remove communications, remove social media, remove, like I don't do vibration. Vibration will also trigger you. So I make it silent. So that helped me in terms of like my productivity. Like all this productivity hacks kind of thing, right? Actually I think there's a study that says that our productivity, right, like hinders in terms of our like time spent on useless stuff has increased. Like back then, right, in the olden age without our phone, right, we spend time on being bored. Now we are spend time being bored in social media, that kind of thing lah. And at the same time, like because once we are hit with more dopamine, we need more of it. So it can be, and it will lead to addiction. That's why people become alcoholic or drug abusers or even pornography. Some people are addicted to pornography or whatever, right? So all of this because we we want more, that kind of thing. And I guess also money gives you dopamine. So once you have like, you think it's enough, but you need more money, then the addiction of getting more and more.
I mean,
gets to you,
I really resonate because the dopamine detox video, I did practice it lah. So right now I deleted, because there was really a period of time, I must admit, right, that when I realized that my hand, right, would reach on my phone and reach out to the Instagram thing and even LinkedIn, you know. Now I'm like, shit, this is bad. So I literally, there's no LinkedIn, there's no Instagram. I've deleted a lot of social media apps on my phone to really
I should do that, Sha.
No,
I should do that.
So I'm making it hard. So I'm not to say that I completely limit myself, because honestly I still do a lot of posting on LinkedIn, but I only use it when I'm like have access to a computer. But I realized that the thing that he conveyed in the video from Alex Becker, right, would say that your phone is a big dopamine trigger, and I can say I have withdrawal symptoms, honestly, but I think it's good in that sense lah. Like I feel that there's a lot more time to do what you want.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. Interesting. Is there any other content that you absorb from him, or any other channels that you think are informative for people to absorb content from?
Yeah, so I've also been on like this, like I don't know, I want to share my opinions on like money, because Alex Becker.
Okay, let's move on that. Move on that, right? Okay, I'll just tell you my thoughts on it, or at least some of my friends. I'll tell you my friends. I have met friends, no problem. Right? I have friends that tell me money can buy happiness, in a sense, because happiness to people means different things lah. So to him or her, it means spending time with his or her loved one, and as long as like that kind of money is able to give that sort of comfort to spend time with who she or he wants, right, then that's okay lah.
Definitely.
But because I recently saw a video that you made, right, can money buy happiness, and you're saying like it's full of shit. And I'm sure that if you have watched Alex Becker video, he says that money is full of shit. Although he himself is a millionaire, then I can go into conversations like is it there's this German philosopher called Nietzsche, and there's this thing called slave morality. So like there's two thoughts of
money is a slave.
Not that money is a slave, but two schools of thoughts. Like people who don't have money, right, would convince themselves that money cannot buy happiness. And it's a different case where someone is a millionaire and says that money can't buy happiness, because if I'm a person that I'm not a millionaire, right, and I say that money can't buy happiness, right, it's a slave. It's like a slave morality thought, in a sense, whereby it makes us feel better, in a sense. But what's your general thought on it? Okay,
so for money wise, right, like there's a lot of opinions on money, whether you should pursue money or whatever, right? So let me put it in the psychological terms. You know, Maslow of hierarchy needs, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So Maslow of hierarchy needs, meaning that we have like a hierarchy of different needs. So the base, right, is food. It's like survival needs: food, water, shelter, whatever, right? So why people, I feel like young people wants to earn more money, right, is because they want independence. They want to live on their own, so they need to survive. So that's why people get part-time jobs. That's why people want to like have like part-time jobs that gives more money, because they want to like be comfortable, that kind of thing lah, which is fair enough. And then so like I guess these young people haven't gone through a full-time job. They don't know like a full-time job gives that base of like survival needs. So the next, I forgot after that the hierarchy of needs are, but I feel that like especially in Singapore, right, where your parents don't kick you out. I think parents don't kick people out in Singapore lah. Maybe 90% lah. Like you already have food on the table. Like if your parents are still living, like, or supporting you in terms of like your food, money or whatever, right? I think like once you have that survival needs taken care of, right, you actually can explore other things that you want to do with your life. Because like a lot of people can get depressed because they are rich. People can get depressed when they are poor also lah. But usually when poor people, it's just that they don't have the survival needs met. That's it. Then once they already finish their survival needs, then anything other than that is just added bonus. Like, oh, you have money to have a comfortable meal at an aircon restaurant. That is not a need, that's a want. You want to spend time with your family. You want to do stuff that makes you happier, that kind of thing. So for me, I've gone through like a journey of like what is actually happiness. Even though my name is the Happy Harris, that kind of thing, right? Like I realized that happiness is a practice. You practice happiness, because I got a full-time job. I got a very good paying job as a diploma holder. Like I can get even higher, but having an increase of pay doesn't make me happier. From what I've realized, I realized what makes me happy is to have a purpose or fight for something that I want, like I stand for, that kind of thing, like purpose and meaning. Then like luckily there was a video on Instagram by Tom Bilyeu, the impact theory guy. He said that the highest there are 5 motivations for humans. Number 1 is money, but money, right, is a very bad motivator. Yeah, which I agree lah, because you can get as much money as you can. So what is the point of having more money? People say freedom, but like freedom with what? Like financial freedom. Like I understand that definitely you need financial freedom, but then in a sense that like financial freedom, you want to have enough money to do whatever you want. But wouldn't it be great if you do whatever you want that pays you money as well? So I don't get that sense of like chasing the money so you have financial freedoms. Like you can do that. You can get financial freedom doing what you want, that kind of thing. So like I'm not shitting on like investors or people who are in the finance industry. If I feel like people are just choosing a game to play, it's just that money is just a after effect. It's not something you should aim for, but it's just an after effect. Because I realized that people will pay you for mastery, like people pay you for knowledge, that kind of thing. So rather than chasing for the money, why not just be something you are good at, that people will pay money for you, that kind of thing, not the other way around. Like yeah. So then like I think most of the time people who chase for money are usually young people and people who haven't gone through a full-time job lah. That's my opinion lah. Then people who have like matured or have a full-time job, they like only I think a few people will like still chase for the money, and then they think like they're like some people think there's a quick rich kind of like tactic to do, but there isn't lah. It's all hard work kind of thing lah. Like having a big house, having a nice car, like what value does it add to your life? Like unless you live in a 1-room flat with other family members, then I get it, then I understand. But once you have that bigger house, like does it add value to you? Then like for me, I always go to death. You die tomorrow, your nice car do what for you? Like your bigger house do what for you? Your private jet do what for you? I rather have my money, right, be used for something better, improve human lives, that kind of thing. That's why like I'm in the train of thought, like the startup is not something that I will build in the future lah, because startups are like, I'm not saying all startups are bad. I'm just saying that people who go startups to get rich quick, right, are people who I don't like to
cash out,
because
is it?
Yeah, to cash out, like because you just in it for the money. Like you do you lah, but I just don't like you lor. Like because I feel that you sacrifice a lot of your humanity just to get the number. You just to be rich, because that's what we are facing now. There's a lot of layoffs. Not because of like whatever, but it's just that because people are chasing for the money, then suddenly the layoff is just to lower the burn rate, that kind of thing. Then they see humans as a number. So I'm very influenced by Simon Sinek also lah. Like I read his book Leaders Eat Last. Fantastic book if you want to be a leader lah. Yeah. So for me, like rather build a startup, why not just be a great leader? Like I think like if people are taught to be great leaders, right, I think that we won't have a lot of layoffs. They will realize that like when you hire someone, right, we are actually giving that guy a livelihood. Then this the employee that you employ, right, will use his money to feed his family, feed his children, have a house over the person's head, that kind of thing. Like some people don't realize that. I don't know, like I never really talk a lot, but like these layoffs most of the time is just because of like restructuring, or basically they just want to lower the burn rate so their company can survive, that kind of thing. Then a lot of like studies from the leadership says that when leaders take care of their people, right, the people will return back the favor and make the business grow even better in the long term. So a lot of people always go for the short term goals where they must hit that financial quota or whatever, right? So they will sacrifice a lot, and then after that, once they hit it, then there will be a downward turn because they already hit, so they don't like they don't need anybody, so they will just lay off people, whatever, the kind of thing. I don't know the exact kind of like timeline, but it's just it is something that people just overlook, like firing someone because of business, So it's like the idea of having a business is actually like it's a huge responsibility that you impart on yourself, because once you give someone a job, right, you're actually taking care of the person, like then so the person depend on you, so like you're the parent of the employer. So like business is not all about money. It's like, first, why I think people want to do business is because maybe autonomy, they want to do it themselves, they want to change something here and there, they want to exchange their goods and service for money to impact more people. Great. But like when you employ people, have that thought of like that person depends on you, so you're actually creating a family, like a business is a family, because they spend 8 hours of their waking hours working for you. They could spend
that time. I never thought of it this way. Like you say that business is family. I think it's a very nice way to say it.
Yeah, like they spend 8 hours working for you. They could spend their time taking care of their kids, but they're working for you. So like I feel that you should take care of them because they sacrifice their time. Because so like it really changed my mind of like business itself. Like I really respect Simon Sinek on him being very like consistent on saying like fuck those people who don't have an infinite mindset, that kind of thing.
Have you read his book?
Going on. Yeah, I read it. Oh my god.
Infinite mindset.
Yeah, oh no. But I mean, I just watch his videos. I get his infinite mindset. A lot of people then always ask him like, how I want to do this, but I couldn't. Then he asks, so where you get that money, where you get that capital from the person who gives you, right? So you have to answer to him. That's why I don't like startups, because most of the time you're answering to the people who put the money in to you, Then that's when you made a bad long-term decision, because now you have to answer to the person who's giving you money, that kind of thing. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying all startups are bad. Like some startups really change how we are as a society, like Facebook, Instagram, good or bad, I don't know, I don't care. But in the end, like you really have to take care of the people that you employ. So that's why I feel like from that on, like people who like young people who want to start the business, they're not thought of that. Like you're taking care of people once you employ somebody, because they might think like I'm here to just to get rich or to have a lot of money, so I'll do a startup because now it's the cool and hip thing. I'm an entrepreneur, that kind of thing. I hate that word. Yeah, so like I mean, there's a lot of responsibility building a business once you employ people. If you have a business on your own, great you just take care of yourself, that's it. But once you employ people, then that's a huge responsibility that you need to impart. And towards the money wise, most of the time why people want more money, they think business is the only way to get more money, but there are other ways to do it, that kind of thing.
I mean,
yeah, hopefully that answers.
I've known, but I feel like it's a very nice. It's always an ideal that you strive towards, because I personally know of some friends that has small SMEs in a sense, and like cash flow is really tight. Like there's literally no business. Like
right.
It's really tough, It's really tough. So on that note, right? On that note of this tough situation that you have right now, right? Because I don't think your business in a sense is too much affected, because you're going on this like online thing, right?
Yeah.
Like how have you been coping during this crisis?
Like honestly, I don't feel the pinch at all because I just started. You know, that's the thing. Yeah, I just started my first $1 earned like last month, you know. And then when that whole COVID thing, so I don't see the pinch. Like, understand the other businesses that depends on people. They see the effects where they don't have clients, they don't have revenue coming in, they don't have people buying their products or service. Like I'm not facing that because then and then another revelation is that having an online business, whether you have COVID or the economy tank, right? Having an online business actually helps. Because cool. Right, people don't need to go to your shop. People can just, you know, but the thing is online business is only like very on a specific kind of industry like education, content creation kind of thing. So this kind of like companies will still be able to kind of survive, you know, but like for example F&B or like services where you need frontliners, right, or people like at retail stores, right? Those are heavily affected, lor. So these people are heavily affected, and like basically anybody who needs to be on the ground will be heavily affected. But I feel like online businesses like will still try for, and that's maybe a very good wake up call to a lot of traditional businesses to, you know, upgrade their skills, be more online, have an actual social media that they control rather than hiring an agency to do for them anyway. Like this is a good wake up call for them to be more online, have a more online presence rather than offline. And also like for me, it's a very good lesson because now I know that I need 1 year of expenses saved up in my business because so I'm like I didn't know all of this. I thought like, okay, maybe I need savings for myself as a person. But if I were to start a business with people, right, I need 1 year of the salary of that person so I don't have to fire that person. So this whole COVID or this whole situation really made me become more empathetic to the future people that I'm working with. So like I will probably save up enough. I will hire slower so that my layoff is not bigger, or hopefully I don't have any layoffs in the future other than the person being an asshole But other than that, So this I'm actually like gaining slowly. Like my revenue is not a lot. It's not like 3 figures, 4 figures, 5 figures. It's very slow, but I'm increasingly, and
I'm sure it will.
I'm increasing. Yeah, I think it will but it's just that I don't feel the pinch. Like the only time, right, that like my kind of online business will get affected if no electricity or the internet is down. Really, if this one of these is what do you call it, have occurred, right, then I die if no internet, I cannot do anything. If no electricity, even worse, I can't do anything. Maybe laptop, but need Wi-Fi, right? So that's the only two things that I think throughout history rarely happens. We have natural causes, but there is no causes where there's a like global electricity, no more electricity. No, there's no such thing. Then no electricity. And okay, there is some websites that was, I think last year, Facebook was down for maybe 1-2 hours, or Instagram was down for 1-2 hours. If you have remembered or used it, right. So that's the only time that I will get affected. But other than that, if there's like touch wood, if I don't get affected by any natural causes, then my business won't get affected. Then that's it all. Like I think online business still thrive in this situation. I feel and like for me, I'm still starting, so I don't feel it. Like I'm growing here. A lot of business going down here. I'm still like just started, you know. Then I think I'm doing okay I have savings.
I think on that point is really just to use this time to really capitalize and just learn new skills, like how
online,
you're doing this. I'm trying to learn how to do live streaming, recording of podcasts. And makes things so much easier. Like you're learning how to really just not be dependent on basically just diversifying how your business works, right? Okay, to end on this podcast, right? We actually talked for quite long, I realized, right? In terms of lessons, the biggest lessons that you've learned in the past 6 months, something fresh, something new that you feel that could help someone on the other side, whether it's a university student. Okay, let's say for university students, I think this is really quite quite
Yes,
interesting type
relatables.
or school students, right?
Yeah.
What should they do?
Oh, I don't know about students though. But I mean, maybe students who want to start their business from scratch, right? The only thing that I will tell them is to be very, 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 very patient. Because as young people, right, especially in this fast-paced economy or fast-paced kind of like industry, I mean not industry, like lifestyle, right? Be very patient. Because I think like for myself, I expect a lot of things to, I expect maybe I get 10,000 subscribers. I wrote my goal, 10,000 subscribers this year. Like be very patient because like you will make mistakes, you will learn stuff, you will sometimes have like breakdowns or whatever shit. So like be very patient on whatever you're doing, because I think a lot of people just want that quick fix, like, oh, I want to get rich, I want to get a job quick, all that. So like in the end, like it takes a long time to be successful. It's just that like social media or whatever is just painting a picture of success, and then you think that it is actually instantaneous, but it's not. It takes a very, very long time. It like some businesses take 5, some people takes 10 years to be where they are right now. So like for me, I'm really just playing it slow. I'm like really taking my time, learning, just experimenting here and there. Like the only thing that I can only make myself, the only thing that I can control is how much output I give off. So like I can post videos every day, I can live stream every day. So I can only control my effort. Other than that, I can't control how many subscribers I'll get. I can't control how many money I get. So I have to be patient. Like, just be patient. Like, slow down, chill. Don't need to make money so fast. Relax. Yeah, that's it.
In terms of the biggest mistakes you have made in the past 6 months, what would they be?
6 months. I've been working for myself for 6. Biggest mistake. If your gut feeling says no, just don't do it. So the biggest mistake.
Oh no.
Sorry. Sorry, that was a lesson. Okay, the mistake was that. Yeah. I was too forward. I was ahead. But my biggest mistake was not to follow my gut. Like I was kind of depressed when I was working on my previous idea on what do you call it? Generating worksheets for student weaknesses, right? I really didn't feel like working. I told myself like, okay lah, maybe I just need to find a better idea or better solution for this. But in the end, it was just me not motivated at all. Like not say motivated, but I don't see that as a long-term kind of like career that I wanted. Then when I transitioned into like, oh, now I want to help people, want to educate them, suddenly I become more motivated. Like I think this will be my whole career lah, to just teach or to change the education system that we have right now. So like that was the biggest mistake, because I really get into a very bad mental kind of health. Like it was very bad for me. So after I changed it, I got so much happy, I got so much better, that kind of thing lah. So just really follow your guts. If you feel like this opportunity is bad for you, just say no. If you think that this venture is bad for you, or you don't trust this person, just follow your gut. And then just follow, because like your gut is there for a reason. Yeah, so just follow it. So
don't be afraid to pivot in a sense lah.
Yeah, don't be afraid. Yeah, okay. If you feel you want to pivot, yeah.
Okay, Haris, thanks so much for this podcast. I know it's like a bit unconventional, but I think I'm getting the vibes of it now.
This is very conventional. It's very
really?
conventional.
It took me a little bit of getting used to it, but I think this is cool. I think I will really be trying to upgrade my setup, put maybe a nicer lighting, but I think this is going to be so much more confident moving forward. This is the podcast of the future already. I mean, there was people using it, but okay, Haris, for listeners that want to reach out to you, right? Where are you right now most active on? I know I follow you on Instagram, LinkedIn, but where are you most active on?
So I'm very active, like personally on my Instagram. So you can search for me at the happy Haris. Just follow me there. I think that's where my general audience will find me lah. My YouTube channel is very specific, so I will not.
If you're ever interested in learning Flutter development, right? Then
Flutter,
that's definitely a place. What's your channel name called?
Yeah. The Happy Haris.
Oh, the channel name is called Happy Haris. It's not like a separate.
The Happy Haris. No, it's not. I'm thinking whether I should change my name, but I think nah. I just put the Happy Haris lah. Doesn't really matter for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks so much, Haris, and probably let's have a like catch up regularly, like every 4 months, 5 months, and yeah, look forward to see
Definitely,
where you'll end up. I'm sure you'll do well for yourself. Okay,
Hopefully.
keep in touch.
Alright.
Keep in touch
Okay.
you then. Thanks so much.
Okay. Bye bye.